Picture this, brother. The deepest betrayal doesn't come from an enemy's blade, but from a friend's smile. You've met the men who laugh with you, share a drink, but behind your back, they chip away at your confidence. They act like allies, yet their every move drains your spirit, dims your fire, and keeps you small. That's the frenemy, a wolf in brother's clothing, and if not careful, they'll erode your peace for years, leaving you wondering if you're imagining things. Today, I'm sharing 5 undeniable signs you're dealing with a frenemy, and why cutting them loose isn't just a choice, it's survival. These aren't guesses or internet advice. These are patterns psychologists see in toxic bonds, real traps that snare good men. If you've ever felt a sting in your gut after talking to a so-called brother, this is for you. Your peace of mind is priceless. Your strength, your calm, your resolve. They deserve protection. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's face the truth together. If this resonates, hit like, subscribe, share it with a brother who needs it, and drop a comment about your run-ins with fake friends. Let's expose the deceivers and build bonds that are strong, honest, and worthy of men like us. First, understanding the frenemy. The harshest betrayals don't come from open foes, but from those who call themselves your brothers. They hide their venom behind smiles, fake concern, and surface charm. You think they've got your back, but in truth, they're playing a long game, sapping your confidence day by day. One morning, you question every choice, wondering if you're too sensitive or making it all up. You're not wrong, brother. That's the frenemy's mark, a man who seems to lift you up but tears you down when it matters most. They're shapeshifters, reading the room and adjusting their mask. Alone, they praise your ideas, cheer your hustle, but in a crowd, their support vanishes, replaced by subtle digs that make you look foolish or unprepared. You might share a bold plan and hear, "That's a great idea." Yet in front of others, they smirk and say, "It's a thought, but maybe not practical," planting doubt without owning the damage. This two-faced game isn't random, it's a calculated move to keep you off balance. The more you doubt yourself, the less you question them. It's subtle, because each slight feels small. A careless comment here, a half-hearted compliment there. When you confront them, they play innocent, claiming you misunderstood. This is emotional manipulation, making you doubt your own mind. Psychologists call it covert abuse, a fog that clouds your clarity and erodes your self-trust. Imagine you're leading a project, pouring your heart into it, planning, rallying men, securing funds. In private, your so-called brother claps you on the back, says he admires your drive. But in the boardroom, he points out flaws you never discussed, painting your work as rushed or naive. You leave feeling small, betrayed, and alone. That's the frenemy's signature. Their goal isn't to help you grow, but to keep you small enough to never outshine them. Their approval comes with strings. Their criticism is a chess move. They crave power when you lean on them for validation. Over time, brother, you lose faith in your own judgment, handing trust to the least deserving. That's not just annoying, it's a threat to your strength. The Stoic philosophers saw this clearly. Epictetus warned, if someone provokes you, your mind plays a part in that provocation. You're not to blame for their cruelty, but you control how you respond. Seeing their game is the first step to freedom. You don't need to outplay them. You just need to see through them, refusing to get tangled in their web. The Stoic way isn't about shutting out others, but about guarding your worth. When a man acts one way in private and another in public, don't make excuses for him. Accept the truth he's showing you. You don't fix them. You set boundaries. Maybe you share less. Spend less time together. Sometimes you cut them off entirely. That's not cruelty, it's self-respect. True brothers don't make you feel small or sow doubt for their own gain. They don't blame you for reacting to their betrayal. Real brothers are consistent. Whether you're alone or in a crowd, they want you to win, even if it doesn't benefit them. Losing a trusted friend to their true nature hurts. But that pain clears the way for honest bonds. You can't control if someone chooses manipulation, but you can choose not to play their game. Build your character, sharpen your clarity, and refuse to let their duplicity shake you. That's the Stoic strength, a shield against betrayal, forged in self-mastery. Stoicism doesn't promise you'll avoid pain or betrayal, but it guarantees you can face it without crumbling. It reminds you your worth is yours to defend. That's why spotting these two-faced signs early matters, because the sooner you see them, the sooner you reclaim your peace. If this hits home, brother, drop. I hear you in the comments. Your voice matters, and I want to hear your story. As we move to competitive sabotage, we'll unpack how these men don't just undermine you privately, but sabotage your wins while pretending to cheer you on. The next sign shows how far a frenemy will go to keep you from outshining them, and how Stoic wisdom helps you stand tall against their hidden hostility. Second, competitive sabotage. Let's talk about one of the most toxic signs you're dealing with a frenemy. This isn't honest competition. Healthy rivalry pushes both men forward. You want your brother to succeed, celebrating his victories while chasing your own. That's respect. Like iron sharpening iron. But a frenemy doesn't play fair. Your wins threaten them, making them feel small. They don't sabotage you openly. Brother, it's not insults or fistfights. Their sabotage is cloaked in care, disguised as advice. Picture yourself gunning for a big promotion. Years of grit finally paying off. You share your excitement with a trusted friend, expecting a brother's support. Instead of cheering, they nod gravely, warning you about office politics or how you're not ready yet. By the end, you're second-guessing whether to even try. You think they're being real, looking out for you. But look closer. Man, their words don't clarify, they cloud. That's not care. It's sabotage. Plain and simple. Their aim is to hold you back so you don't outpace them. It's easier to kill your ambition than face their own fears. Competitive sabotage isn't just words. It shows in shared work. Say you're teaming up on a community project, splitting tasks, but they show up late, unprepared, leaving you to clean up their mess. You look incompetent by association, while they keep their reputation clean, or they promise feedback on a big presentation, then send last-minute changes that throw you off. When you achieve something worth celebrating, they can't muster genuine praise. They downplay it, saying the role isn't that prestigious or you had an unfair edge. Those moments cut deep, not just for what they say, but because you trusted them. You expected their support, their brotherhood. That betrayal stings like a blade. Worse, it's hard to prove. Each comment can be explained away. making you feel paranoid if you call it out. Stoics teach us to see these tactics as external threats to our inner peace, not unbeatable forces. Marcus Aurelius said, "You control your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength." That's the key to overcoming competitive sabotage. Motivated by your success, a frenemy feels threatened. You can't change that, brother, but you can choose how to respond. First, trust your gut. That unease you feel when they undermine your joy isn't paranoia, it's a warning. Don't ignore it. Once you see the pattern, stop playing their game. Share less about your plans and goals. Don't give them ammunition to use against you. Second, don't let their words steer your choices. Brother, you owe no man your ambition. If you're ready for that promotion, apply. If your idea's burning, act. Weigh their feedback coolly. But don't let their so-called realism, born of their own gain, hold you back. If someone repeatedly shows they can't handle your success, they've lost the right to know your dreams and plans. This truth is bitter but empowering. A frenemy doesn't sabotage you because you're unworthy, but because your potential scares them. Their actions reflect their insecurity, not your value. When you stop shrinking to ease their discomfort, you reclaim your power. True brothers compete to lift each other up, not tear each other down. They push you to be better, not hold you back. They cheer your wins because your victory doesn't dim their own. Anyone who tries to dim your light isn't a brother, they're a weight dragging you down. Next, we'll see how frenemies don't just sabotage your success, but weaponize their support. Conditional support is the next sign help that comes with strings, draining your spirit and binding you to obligation. What about you? Brother, have you felt this subtle sabotage in your life? Drop a comment and share your story. Let's shine a light on these toxic patterns and break free together. Third, conditional support. Real brotherhood is built on trust and steady backing. Friendship isn't about keeping score, bargaining, or showing up only when it suits. But a frenemy plays by different rules. Their support is never free. It's transactional, conditional, a currency they use to keep you indebted and off balance. That's not brotherhood. It's manipulation dressed as loyalty. Think of a man I know, John, and his old friend Mike from their college days. On the surface, they were tight road trips, late-night talks, shared dreams. But over time, John noticed a pattern. When he was down jobless or grieving, Mike was nowhere to be found. Calls went unanswered, texts ignored. Yet when John landed a new gig or got invited to a big event, Mike was all smiles, ready to bask in the glow. He'd pose for photos at John's promotion party, soaking up the spotlight, acting like a loyal wingman. But when John needed a brother in the dark hours, Mike vanished. It took John years to see the truth. Mike's support was only for show, tied to what it gained him. His kindness wasn't for John, it was to polish his own image. When John tried to set boundaries, asking why Mike ghosted during tough times, Mike played the victim, wielding past favors like a club. Mike would remind John of that time he hosted a bachelor party or helped with a vacation, hinting John owed him unwavering loyalty. That's the trap of conditional support. Brother always laced with hidden strings. These men track every favor, every gesture, waiting to cash in. You start wondering if you can say no, weighed down by all they've done for you. They're quick to remind you when you step out of line. This toxic bond turns you into an emotional servant, prioritizing their needs, their comfort, their approval, just to keep the peace. You tell yourself you're being a good brother, but deep down, you're dodging their punishment, their cold shoulder, their withdrawal, their subtle guilt trips. True friendship doesn't keep a ledger. Healthy bonds have a natural give and take. Trusting balance comes with time. You don't need to prove your worth for them to show up. You don't earn their loyalty by staying small, grateful, or dependent. What makes conditional support dangerous is it's not obvious at first. It feels generous until you see the cost. It twists your gratitude and goodwill into chains. Over time, you get used to their inconsistency, doubting your right to ask for help unless you're ready to pay in full. The Stoics teach that your peace of mind should never be held hostage by another's whims. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Each morning, wake grateful to live. Think, enjoy, love." That includes your right to give and receive love freely, without strings. When someone turns support into a bargain, they violate that basic human dignity. So how do you face it? Brother first. See the pattern clearly. Don't excuse it as busyness or coincidence when it repeats. If they vanish in your dark days but show up for your wins, call it what it is. Second, don't trade their affection for your self-respect. Their withdrawal is their choice, not your failing. Don't let them guilt you into sacrificing your mental strength when they've proven they're only there when it suits them. Third, set boundaries without apology. Limit what you give, what you share. You don't owe them access to your life's biggest moments if they haven't earned your trust. You can be civil, even kind, without letting them into your inner circle. Most importantly, forge a stoic resilience. When you stop needing their validation to feel worthy, their manipulation loses its grip. Become the brother you seek, steady, loyal, generous without strings. That's how you draw men who live the same way. Spotting conditional support doesn't make you cold or unkind. It makes you honest with yourself. It frees you from years of emotional servitude. It restores your right to ask for help without owing a debt, to celebrate victories without centering someone else. If this resonates, drop "I hear you" in the comments. Picture this. Brother, you land a big deal, find your dream home, or get a clean bill of health after a scare. Your instinct is to share that joy with the men you trust most, expecting them to raise a glass and cheer your win. That's what brotherhood should be, a safe haven for your triumphs. But with a frenemy, it's the opposite. Instead of joy, you get sidestepping. Instead of praise, you get nitpicking. You share your new place, and they trash the neighborhood or warn you about landlords. You brag about a sales win, and they counter with a bigger score or say numbers don't matter. It's not accidental, it's a deliberate move to shrink your excitement, to make your victories small so they don't feel less in comparison. I knew a man who earned a hard-won award after years in the shadows. He shared it with a so-called brother, expecting a fist bump. Instead, he got a thin smile and a lecture about how awards are just politics, how others deserved it more. He left feeling ashamed for even mentioning it, like he was arrogant for celebrating. That's joy-stealing in its purest form, not a social misstep, not forgetfulness, but a calculated refusal to share your happiness. To them, your win is their loss. It exposes their stagnation their discontent, their insecurity. Instead of facing their own shortcomings like men, they control you by dimming your light. Psychologists call this joy stealing, a wound that cuts deep because our milestones matter. We affirm our worth through celebration. When someone denies that, they plant seeds of self-doubt. Over time, you hesitate. You share good news with caveats, downplaying your wins to avoid judgment. Eventually, you might stay silent, fearing hurt or dismissal. This isn't trivial. It's a profound attack on your self-worth. The message is clear. Your success is inconvenient. Your joy excessive. Your pride, arrogance. Worst of all, you're left managing their feelings about your life. Stoics know we can't control others' reactions, but we can control our response. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than reality." The pain isn't just their words, brother, but how we let them define our victories. Seeing this pattern is your first step. You can't fix their insecurity, but you can refuse to let them judge your joy. Keep your wins close if they don't honor them. Share your triumphs with men who clap loudly, who feel genuine pride in your growth, who don't see your success as a verdict on their choices. If you must keep them around for work or family, manage the relationship with clear-eyed realism. Don't let them near your most sacred moments. Don't invite them into your inner circle, where you share life's highs. Don't give them the power to turn your joy into shame. Ask yourself the hard question. Brother, do you struggle to cheer others' wins? Do you feel envy, tempted to point out flaws in their plans or risks they face? The line between victim and villain is thin if we're not honest with ourselves. A true brother sets aside his own insecurities long enough to honor another's moment. He shows up, cheers without strings, and makes space for your light to shine. He knows joy isn't a limited resource to be rationed. When you spot men who can't or won't celebrate with you, your job isn't to fix them. Your duty is to guard your peace. Embrace your wins and share them with those who truly want you to rise. You deserve to stand proud of what you've built. If you've faced this sabotage or struggled to celebrate your wins because of how others made you feel, share your thoughts below. Let's name these patterns and build stronger, truer bonds together. You're not overreacting. Brother, you're waking up. You're seeing the truth that's drained your strength too long. It takes courage to admit a trusted man is undermining your peace. But that realization is a gift. You don't have to keep playing their role. You can choose clarity over fog, strength over compliance. Stoics teach us to focus on what we control. You decide who enters your heart, your mind, your inner circle. Start today. Draw those lines. Say no to those who harm your joy and worth. Say yes to guarding your energy for brothers who truly see and celebrate you. That's not cruelty, it's self-respect. That's freedom. You deserve bonds that are safe, honest, and supportive. Brother, you deserve to share your wins without shame, to ask for help without owing a debt, to live true to yourself without fear of sabotage. Don't let anyone shrink you to soothe their insecurities. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, subscribe for more insights to build stronger, healthier bonds, and share with those who need it. Comment below. Tell me which sign hit you hardest. Let's talk. Your journey to calm, honest, resilient relationships starts here.